Singapore PM's chilling warning to the world, from trade wars to armed conflicts. Something unsettling is brewing beneath the surface of global diplomacy, and the Prime Minister of Singapore has just sounded the alarm. In a grave and calculated address, he delivered a warning not just to his people, but to the entire world. A new era has begun, one that may very well spiral out of control. According to him, the foundations of the modern global economy are cracking, and what comes next could be far more dangerous than anyone is ready to admit. He began with a reminder that many brushed off before. The world is changing in ways that disadvantage small, open economies like Singapore. That prediction, once questioned by critics, now echoes with chilling clarity in the wake of the United States' shocking Liberation Day announcement, a seismic shift in the global order as Washington rolls out sweeping new tariffs under the banner of protectionism. The age of free trade is over. The PM didn't mince words. The post-World War II era, dominated by the idea of globalization and a rules-based system under the World Trade Organization, is being dismantled. And not by outsiders, but by the very country that built it. For decades, the United States was the heartbeat of a globalized economy. It preached free markets, led efforts to create a system based on cooperation and mutual benefit, and held up a rulebook that allowed smaller nations to thrive. But now that very rulebook is being torn apart, page by page. The new U.S. policy of slapping reciprocal tariffs on a country-by-country basis is not reform. It's a complete rejection of the WTO framework. Singapore, despite its strong trading relationship with America, has been placed in the lowest base tier, slapped with a 10% tariff. While the immediate economic hit may seem small, the implications are enormous. Because this is about more than just Singapore. It's about what comes next. If other nations follow America's lead, abandoning global rules and replacing them with self-serving, bilateral deals, then the stage is set for chaos. The system will collapse. Trade wars will erupt like brush fires, unpredictable and uncontrollable. And small nations, the ones without economic might or political leverage, will be crushed under the weight of giants. The Prime Minister issued a dire warning. The world is teetering on the edge of a full-blown global trade war. Singapore, he said, will not retaliate. But restraint may not be a global luxury. Other countries, larger, more aggressive, and less patient, are already preparing countermeasures. As tariffs rise and uncertainty spreads, international trade and investment will suffer. Global growth will slow. Economies built on openness, like Singapore's, will be hit the hardest. And then he dropped a haunting reminder. The last time the world walked this path was in the 1930s. Back then, protectionism spiraled, trade barriers multiplied, tensions escalated, the world descended into the Great Depression, and then into the fires of World War II. What started as economic conflict ended in devastating bloodshed. The PM didn't predict war, but he didn't rule it out either. His message was simple, stark, and terrifying. When global norms collapse, when nations act only in self-interest, when trust erodes and pressure becomes a language of diplomacy, conflict is never far behind. This is the harsh reality of our world today, he said. Global institutions are weakening, international norms are breaking down, and more countries are now willing to use force or economic coercion to get their way. But amid this grim forecast, there was also resolve. Singapore, he assured, is not defenseless. With deep reserves, national unity, and strong partnerships with like-minded nations, the country is better prepared than most. But preparedness is not immunity. The road ahead, he said, will be rougher than anything this generation has seen. And the calm, predictable world we once knew, that world is gone. We must brace ourselves, he warned, for more shocks, for greater instability, for a future in which the rules that once protected small states may no longer hold. He urged Singaporeans, and by extension, the world, not to be lulled into complacency. Because this isn't just about tariffs, it's about the unraveling of the international order. And if history has taught us anything, it's that when trade wars go unchecked, they can turn into something far darker. This wasn't just a speech, it was a signal flare, a warning shot, and perhaps a glimpse into the storm that's coming. Do you think the world is really on the verge of another global conflict, just like in the 1930s? Has the United States just opened the gates to an economic war that could spiral out of control? Can small nations like Singapore survive in a world where only the strongest write the rules? Is this the end of globalization as we know it, or just the beginning of something far more dangerous? How long do you think global institutions like the WTO can survive in this new era of chaos and self-interest? Will history repeat itself? Or have we learned enough to stop trade wars from becoming real wars? What do you think is the next domino to fall in this unraveling world order? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because what's happening now isn't just politics, it's a warning to all of us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to stay ahead of what's really happening behind the headlines.